The Jewish story. This week's story from the Holocaust is taken from the book Because God Loves Stories, an anthology of Jewish storytelling edited by Steve Zeitlin. Walking through the streets of Bremen in the 1930s, anyone could easily see signs of the rising tide of hatred that was sweeping Germany. Everywhere there were soldiers in brown uniforms, members of the new National Socialist Party. Swastikas were painted on walls and soldiers wore them on their sleeves. Mischievous children painted them on German synagogues. Teenagers in the much-hated Hitler Youth Brigades passed by, marching in the famous goose-step, kicking their legs up stiffly as they walked. One grey afternoon, a rabbi walking sadly through the city, where everything was rapidly changing for the worse. He was filled with sorrow at what he thought might lie ahead. He hoped that the young generation would turn away from this Nazi movement that was taking over the country. In an open field, he saw two young men dressed in the dreaded brown uniforms. The rabbi could see the cruel mischief in their eyes as they approached. One of them had his hands cupped as if he were holding a precious thing that was twitching and turning, struggling to escape. "What do you think I have in my hands?" snapped the young man. The rabbi glanced at the Hitler Youth's trembling hands. He saw a feather drift gently from between his nervous fingers. "It is not hard to see," the rabbi said, "that you have a tiny bird cupped up in your palms." "Yes," said the young German, his lip quivering with anger and contempt. "But is the bird alive or dead? Tell us the right answer, and no evil will befall you or your synagogue." The wise rabbi realized that if he said the bird was dead, they would release the bird. But if he said the bird was alive, they would certainly kill it. In either case, wrongdoing was certain to befall both him and his congregation, and they would be the very ones responsible. The rabbi saw the history of the Jewish people pass before his eyes. How many times throughout history had they been put in a no-win situation, forced to choose between two dead ends? But the wise soul looked straight into the young man's eyes. "You ask whether the bird is alive or dead," he said. "The answer is in your hands. The answer is in your hands." Please pass on.